Mom, I just wanted to ask if for tomorrow's wedding, you'd go ahead and not show up for me. I've already had your seat taken away and everything, so...
Excuse me?
So, since you have no seat now, please don't come. I'll make sure to send you pictures of the wedding and everything later, alright?
Hold your horses, Summer. Why would you ask me to stay away from your wedding day out of nowhere like that? You know I can't do that on my daughter's most important day.
Huh? Why not? The bride is asking you not to come to her wedding, so you can shut up and do as the bride is telling you, alright?
Why are you saying things like that to me now? Why don't you want me coming to my own daughter's wedding?
Well, Mom, I'd really like to cut ties to you after this. So I can't just have you coming to my wedding if I don't even want you around me anymore, right? That would make no sense.
You want to cut ties to me? Hold on, Summer. Tell me what's gotten into you all of a sudden. Telling me not to come to your wedding and saying that you want to push me away by cutting ties? Did I do something wrong to you?
Look, Mom, do you have any idea who the man is I'll be marrying tomorrow? I'm going to be getting married to the son of a very distinguished family who runs a large company. So in other words, starting tomorrow, I'm going to become a part of some very famous people. And when that happens, I'm no longer going to need some moneyless woman like you as my mom.
Moneyless woman?
Why are you so surprised by all of this? You've always been living your life with a very little income, right? Once Dad had divorced you, our home became one of very little money and a whole lot of sadness. When was the last time you bought yourself some new clothing, Mom? Like 10 years ago?
I guess we have been a smaller family now ever since your father left us and luck has not been on our side, but I have put all my energy and money into raising you to make sure you were always happy. I wanted you to never have to feel the pain of being raised by only a mother and on the income of only myself. So I would spoil you with a lot of what I earned in the hopes that you'd never notice the void he left behind. But to see you forgetting my sacrifice now and calling me a moneyless woman, it hurts!
Huh? You think I'm forgetting anything about that? I never cared enough to memorize what you did for me, so how could I be forgetting it now? If anything, the only thing I've held on to is the hate I have for you.
Huh?
Because you had to go and get that divorce with Dad, you left my life in tatters. I had to start living the life of a poor little girl in a single-parent household. Do you have any idea how many horrible memories I have from being around you?
You know the reason why your father and I had to get a divorce, right? Your father was addicted to slot machines and would never stop gambling no matter how much I told him to stop and step away. So I started to think only about you, and that led me to getting that divorce from him. It's not good to have someone addicted to gambling raising a child as well.
If you really wanted to care about me and my well-being, then where's the money I need? I had to live for years under you with no money and with very little to entertain myself. Had you just stuck with Dad, at least then I would have had the money he won from playing slots all the time. I think being raised in a moneyless household is way worse for me than living with a gambling addict.
That's why in order to have money for you, I've put in a lot of work over the years. And it's been 15 years now since the divorce, so that's 15 years of me working for your sake. And not just working a job, but working as two parents to make sure you were raised into the person you are now. I made sure to never focus on myself, only looking at you and working towards the great future I wanted you to have. That allowed you to go and study what you wanted at the school you wanted to attend. I'm sure I never made you feel as though you were living in poverty, right?
Huh? That's strange, considering that every day I was in the same house as you, I felt like I was living in a poor man's home. I wish I had the lives all my friends had, going overseas every year for vacation with their family. I wanted to be like them, going to Disney Park every year for a week.
Well, all of those friends happen to have parents working high up in large companies, right? Especially that one girl, whose dad is the CEO. While comparing the money I was bringing into their parents. I had worked so hard for you, Summer, and I really made sure there was enough money for you, even without your father ever paying child support.
It's your job as my parent to work hard for me, so stop acting like you're someone special for something like that. Let's be real here, you should have never married someone like Dad and had a kid with him in the first place if you knew things would never turn out well for me. Being born into a moneyless family has really caused me so much trouble. I'm a victim of someone who never cared enough about her money or her situation, and I've had to pay for your flaws for the past 15 years.
What did you say?
Someone who's done all of that to me is not going to be coming to my wedding to celebrate my happiness. That's why you're not coming to my wedding anymore. I'm going to become a somebody for once, and I don't need some moneyless woman there celebrating that. A poor woman like you, with nothing to show for, shall never come around me ever again.
Are you sure about this?
Shut the hell up, you old hag. I think I'm very sure about all of this, considering I've told you to stay away so many times now.
Then I guess I have no other option. I gave it my all raising you, but I can't just force you to let me be a part of your future anymore. Please have a wonderful life with that Alex of yours.
Of course Alex and I are going to become happily married. I don't need to hear that from you, you idiot. Hey, Jody, what do you think you're doing as the mother of the bride? Hurry up and come to the wedding right now, please.
Huh? Renee?
I heard from your daughter that you're not coming today because you don't feel well enough. But there's just no way that someone like you would be feeling so bad that you can't make it to one of the most important days in your daughter's life. Even if you have a small fever, you can manage coming here still, right? You are her mother, so please be here to see her go from your little girl into Alex's wife. Both the bride's and groom's parents have put a lot of effort into this event, so you shouldn't miss it.
Could you hold on for one moment, please, Renee? What do you mean my daughter told you I wasn't feeling well enough today?
What do I mean? She said that you're feeling sick today. She said you became so anxious about her wedding that it ended up getting you sick. That's why Summer had to tell the wedding planner you wouldn't be coming today.
I'm not feeling sick or anything, though, today. The reason I'm not there right now is because Summer told me to stay away.
What?
For some reason or another, she seems to really hate me now. Apparently, she has no use for a single-parent mother anymore. She told me that she's going to be part of a more higher-class people now, so she has to cut ties to me. And that means I can't come to her wedding anymore.
You're lying, right? Summer said all of that to you?
I do have a lot to say about it, but since this is her wedding, I can't go against what she said. If the bride is telling me to stay away, then I'm going to stay away. So, with that, I'd like for you and your husband to please celebrate a little extra in my absence. And please take good care of my daughter for me.
Why are you so calm when saying all of that to me? You're just going to let Summer get away with saying all those terrible things to you? If my son had ever said something like that to me, I would have been spanking his butt for 5 days straight.
You really are such a powerful mother, aren't you, Renee? Which is amazing considering when you and I first met, you were so calm and kind.
And I've been the one watching you raise Summer all by yourself for the past 15 years. Hearing from you what she said, it really breaks my heart. I'm sorry, Jody, but I cannot let her say things like that to someone who has sacrificed so much.
Ah, I see. I totally forgot you've been by my side ever since that divorce from my ex-husband. Time has really gone by fast, hasn't it?
That's how it feels to all of us. But listen to me, Jody. I am so upset with what I've heard. You are one of my most dear friends, and you're telling me the daughter you raised with so much love is now stabbing you in the back? I want you to hang tight for me, okay? I'm going to do something about this right now.
You don't have to do anything, Renee. I'm totally fine right now, so there's no need to worry.
But I'm not fine at all, Jody. I thought that because she's your daughter, she'd be just perfect for my son. But now I'm being told that she's the exact opposite of her mother. I have to go and do something about this. Mom, you can come to my wedding right now. I am finally all right with you being here now, so you'd better hurry up so we can get on with things.
What? Why are you talking to me again now? I thought you told me yesterday that you were cutting ties to me.
Well, there was some trouble with that, so I have to ask you to come out here now. Right now, Alex's mom is getting all up in my face complaining about things, so having you here will be the only way that'll shut her up. She keeps going on and on about how my mom isn't here and how that's really messed up of me.
I see.
I tried to tell everyone that you're not here because you're feeling sick, but she's not buying it any. So it really does hurt me to say this, but you're allowed to come now. But I'm only doing this so that my wedding isn't canceled and I can have a happy marriage with Alex, so hurry up and get over here.
I understand the situation you're in now, but I'm a bit unsettled.
Huh? Why are you unsettled? You should be over the moon with happiness now that your daughter is letting you come to her wedding. So stop what you're doing and get over here.
I'm sorry, but I can't do that now. Right now I'm out having something to eat. I have this really delicious parfait coming to my table right now, so I'm going to have to stay and eat it.
Huh? Who cares about a stupid parfait? You should be far more interested in your daughter's wedding. If you do come over here right now, I'll even play nice and forget about ever wanting to cut ties to you. So you should really want to come now, right?
Huh? You want to stop this whole cutting ties to me thing?
If having you around me is the only way to ensure I have a great wedding with the son of a very wealthy family, then I have no other choice.
What should I do here? If I had the time, I'd really like to be there to see your wedding, but this parfait looks so good.
Why are you getting stuck between a stinking parfait and your daughter's wedding? You should only be worried about your daughter's wedding, right? I'm telling you that even without any money, I'll let you come and celebrate my wedding with everyone else.
What was that?
This should be one of the biggest surprises of your life, hearing that you will finally be allowed to come to my wedding. So hurry up and get over to my wedding before I start to have a change of heart again. Does she look like some kind of toy to you? She is your mother of all people, and you're going to act and play with her like that? I have had enough of you, Summer. I'm not going to ever think of you as my daughter ever again. What? And I'm sure Jody is feeling the same way about you right now. So don't you even bother with either one of us now, because you will never be either one of our children. I'm asking you to please leave us alone, especially your mother. Wait a second. What? This isn't you, Mom? Who even is it that I'm talking with right now? This is Alex's mother, and who you might call your mother-in-law. But you guys aren't going to be having this wedding anymore, and I'm not going to let the two of you be married. So you can say goodbye to ever calling me your mother. What? Why are you using my mom's phone right now, Renee? That's because I left the wedding to come and see her. She had already told me she wasn't coming to the wedding, and you had lied to me, saying this was all about how your mother was sick or something. Well, I don't have the want to celebrate your happiness anymore after learning the truth, so I left to meet up with my friend, your mother. What? I found her sitting here at the local cafe she's always at, eating this really amazing-looking parfait all by herself. So I've joined her now and ordered one myself. Oh, it feels so wonderful to be in the presence of a good friend like her, and the nostalgia. Her and I always used to come to this place. What? What do you mean you used to always go there? Are you and my mom really that well acquainted with one another? That's right. Her and I have been friends for over 15 years now, I think. 15 years? I started to learn about her at this gathering for moms. It was a place for mothers struggling with raising their kids, dealing with their husband, and many other things to get together and talk. And that's where I had first met her, and that's why right now her and I are best friends. What? At that point in time, when first meeting her, I was so burnt out by the stress of raising a child. Being married to a man who runs such a powerful company meant that I had to really raise my son into the perfect little prodigy to one day take over that company from his father. And the pressure from both my mother-in-law and the rest of his family was huge. And hearing about all the other moms who were raising their little prodigies, it just drove me up the wall. So I chose to one day go to a gathering for average moms, and there I ran into your mother. Hearing the stories from her made me feel like I was doing a great job myself as a mother and didn't need to worry about all the pressure on my shoulders. She even began to help lift me up, complimenting the ways I raised my boy and by giving me pointers. You're lying. You've known my mom for that long now? She was at those gatherings because she had just become a single mother and was looking for help herself. So in order to help one another out, we would both always meet up, even outside those gatherings, and even come to this exact cafe to chat about our lives and laugh a little. It was our way of finding that little bit of time in our lives as mothers to relax and be ourselves. What? So you guys have really been that close to one another? But as our kids began to get older and older, we became more separated due to time constraints. To think that one day we'd come back to one another because our kids wanted to get married? What a coincidence, right? I was so happy to see one of my best friend's daughters come to my house with my son to introduce herself. And I was really excited for today's wedding as well, Summer. But all of that excitement is lost now because of you ruining it all. If I'm not going to have any fun celebrating this wedding for you, then there's no point in having it at all. No way. I've already talked with both my husband and Alex, and I told them to cancel the wedding right now. I am not going to let there be a wedding between my son and someone I can no longer trust being my daughter-in-law. Now, that is going to be it from me. My parfait just got to the table, and I'd like to eat this with my friend. Hey, Mom, what the hell was that yesterday? Why did you never tell me that you were such good friends with Alex's mom?
I wasn't hiding that from you as some sort of secret or anything. We both decided to just keep it to ourselves, and so that's how things played out.
Huh? I have no idea what you mean by that. It wasn't a secret, yet you kept that fact from me? Why would the both of you choose to hide that from me anyway?
That's because the both of us really care about our family.
Huh?
We both met somewhere where we had to talk about all the drama and pain we were going through as mothers, right? Had we said that the both of us knew each other and we were friends, we'd most likely have to talk about those gatherings as well. I'm sure that you and Alex and his dad don't want to hear about any of that stuff right from your mothers. So we chose to just keep quiet about how we've known one another for so long.
But come on, Mom! You hiding that from me ruined my wedding. Had I known that you were good friends with Alex's mom, then I would have...
Had you known about all that, then you would have never told me that I'm a moneyless woman and never wanted to cut ties with me. You wouldn't have said any of that, but you would have still hated me deep down just the same. You would have just kept hiding that fact from me for the rest of your life. Alright. I'm sure my reasoning wasn't that great, so I'm sorry for hiding the truth from you. But I'm not going to hide anything else from you, so you can relax now. Now you have a good one, Summer.
Wait, Mom! Actually, I don't want to cut ties to you anymore.
Just because I happen to know Alex's mother doesn't mean you have to force yourself to call me your mother. I'm totally fine not having you around me anymore, so let's keep this whole cutting ties to one another thing going.
I'm not forcing myself or anything. If anything, I just don't like the idea of leaving you forever, so let's give all of that up. Starting today, you and I are mom and daughter again. So, can you please go and tell this to Renee for me?
What is all this about? I don't understand what's going on here currently.
Right now, they are talking about ending the talks about marriage, and I am really scared. So I'd really like your help in fixing all this. I want you to do something to get your friend to accept my marriage to her son again. Right now, she's so furious with me that I can't even have a conversation with her.
Whew, oh no. Renee is at that level of being upset with you then.
She's at that point where the next time I try and talk to her, she might now hold back. She always tells me that she won't let me be her daughter if I can't even understand the struggle of my own mother. And that she can't let me marry Alex if I'm never going to be thankful for the 15 years of hard work you put in for me. She just keeps going on and on about how she doesn't want me in her family anymore.
Oh my.
Renee had always been so kind to me before. I thought she'd be the perfect mother-in-law for me because I'd be spoiled. But now I can see just how pissed off even she can become.
Wow. Renee has really changed from the person she was years ago. In the past, when we had first met, she was a very quiet woman who wouldn't dare talk about her own opinions. So for the longest time, I was always telling her to always tell others how you feel, no matter how nervous you are. But to see her going all out like that with you, it warms my heart.
What am I going to do here, Mom? She isn't listening to anything I'm saying to her. She just tells me that she doesn't want to see my face anymore and sends me home while pouring water all over me. Right now I'm on my way home drenched in water.
Wow, that's amazing of her.
And when it comes to Alex, he's so shocked by what he's witnessed from me. I wanted to explain to him about how you really are poor, and so I did just that. But he replied to me saying that if we really were as poor as I've said, then I would never have been acting this way towards you. He told me that if I really can't tell the difference from being poor or being spoiled, then he doesn't want to live with me. He told me that he doesn't want to be stuck with someone that thinks they can be treated to everything, not because they were poor and without money, but because they were spoiled.
This really is such an awful time for the both of you then, huh? But I suppose he is right to say that I have spoiled you and that you are nothing more than a whining little brat.
So please, Mom, help me. You're the only person that can do something to fix all of this. You can go to them and get them both to agree to letting me into their family again.
What? You think I want to deal with all that?
If you don't do anything about this, I'm seriously going to lose my only chance at becoming rich. Are you trying to tell me you're fine with your daughter's happiness being destroyed? You should be saddened by something like this as my mom. If you really love me as your baby girl, then you'll do something to fix all of this.
Well, I'm not really thinking of you as my daughter anymore.
What?
So you can go ahead and cry all you want, but your problems have nothing to do with me. If you want them both to let you into their family, then you have to find a way to rebuild the trust you had with them before. You have already cut ties with me, and I have done the same with you. So please stop asking me for help.
Wait, you're kidding, right? You're just going to throw me away now?
The one who did that first was you to me, right? So would you please cut it out with that I'm the victim BS?
But I told you that I'm not cutting ties to you anymore. Please, Mom, don't say such hurtful things to me.
Jeez. I am not your mother anymore. So please stop calling me things like Mom.
Huh?
I told you already, right? I no longer view you as my daughter. So would you please stop thinking of me as your mother now?
But, Mom!
Nope.
Well, then what am I going to do from now on? The chance is very high that I won't be able to marry Alex anymore, and now you're telling me you're no longer my mom? I'm going to be left all by myself after all this?
It's all right, Summer. You still have your father, right? Although he's still addicted to gambling and I think in prison right now. But you still have some family left.
What?
So have a great life there, Summer. If you do ever have a chance to get married, good luck having kids. You want to go on vacations overseas every year and to Disneyland as well? Make sure to give them the most rich lives you always wanted from me. That marriage between Summer and her fiancé Alex ended up not ever happening in the end, as Alex left her very soon after the canceled wedding. It seems that Summer wasn't able to do anything about Renee being so against her, and Alex being so shocked by that. It turns out that I wasn't the only person that Summer began to brag to about becoming an affluent woman, but she did the same to her friends. Telling them all that she no longer had any need for her moneyless friends and would be saying goodbye to them all. But in the end, she is now stuck living life with nobody around to help her and having to manage on her own. Just before the wedding, Summer had also quit her job, and so as of right now, she is working a low-paying job trying to figure out what to do with herself. When it comes to myself, this whole relationship between Summer and Renee's son has led me back to meeting with my longtime friend again. So we happened to go out to that cafe a lot more together again and talk about how excited we are to have our kids out of the house now. And because of that, we started working on plans to take a vacation to the Bahamas or something to help ourselves unwind a little.